Before coaching, I felt anxious and scared of anything to do with money tasks. And after coaching,
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money.
Here we go.
Dollar, dollar
Shake
bill,
this shit.
yo.
Before we begin, I want to name something important. This is a special recording. This is not a coaching call. It's a conversation with a real client who has graciously chosen to share her story so that other women can find the courage to choose support instead of suffering in silence. And I want to thank her. This conversation is about her journey of becoming. At Young, Rich, and Rooted, we're all on a mission to become financially unfuckwittable. And so often we only hear stories once someone feels done, polished, and by then they're pretty far removed from where they started. And while those stories can be inspiring, they also can feel out of reach. Nobody talks about the baby steps, the middle, the step right after the one you're on. It can start to feel like your story doesn't matter unless you've arrived. And I want to bust that myth. Your story matters even in the middle. Every failure that led to a lesson, every win, no matter how small, is worth hearing about and celebrating. This conversation inspires you to share your story. Feel free to do that in the comments or take a moment to congratulate this young, rich, and rooted client. Loni, welcome to the stage.
hello, how you doing?
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stage. How you doing?
I'm all right. Battling a little bit of a cold, but I'm okay.
I hate that for you. A nasty cold going around,
Yeah, it is.
and a lot of y'all are sick. And you know how I feel. I would start a client call with a wellness check.
Definitely. Definitely. If it's physical for me right now, I'm going to say I'm probably at about
3. Relatively speaking, that's still not that bad. But I'm glad that you are feeling well enough to do this conversation with us because I really am excited to share your story and for you to get an opportunity to share your story and to be empowered and liberated by vulnerability and just taking charge of the narrative of your life and not being afraid of your journey, all of it, the pretty parts and the not so pretty parts. So today feels really special because this conversation isn't about the finish line because you're not done, right? It's about progress. It's
Mhm.
about confidence and what changes inside of you when you stop suffering in silence and you let yourself be supported. You're graduating from 101 coaching. And it's not because everything is completely done, but because you've built the capacity to keep going and you want to test that out. You want to see what that feels like as you keep going along on this next thing. And I want people to really feel what that journey has been like for you. So we're going to talk. I'm going to guide us, but this is your story to tell. And you can tell as little or as much as you want. But I like to start, if you will, at the beginning. Not the highlight reel, but the real life moment that brought you here. Take me back to when you first reached out. What was happening with your money that made you say, I need help?
Well, it was whooping me. My money was in control. I was in the back seat, hanging on to the headrest. Like, what is happening? I just knew it was gonna hit a wall. I just started a new job. I believe we started coaching. Was it in March?
I think it was like the end of April.
End of April. Okay, so I had just started a new job February 26th of this year. And before that, I was working at a call center because I guess I was trying to test myself as far as like being responsible enough to get up to go to work because the type of jobs I'm working, they want you there on time. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So it had been 3 years. I was at school using my GI Bill. I had just had two babies. And being that I'm an electrician by trade, I was unable to work my job. And
Mm.
then I had a high risk pregnancy, so that made things even tougher. So I was in debt and using my credit card more than I ever had before to the point I think I maxed it out. And by the grace of God, my grandmother's house. We put it up for sale, and that helped me with my credit card. By the time I had made it to you, that was the only thing that I had paid off. And I was scared of the mailbox. I wouldn't go to the mailbox. I just knew something was gonna bite me.
You.
Yeah. It was bills on bills on bills on bills. And I was like, well, you'll get it when I get it. Like, so it was pretty bad, the relationship with me and money. And I just knew I needed some help. It was definitely time.
I remember that so clearly. You were like, I feel like one of the things I need is like, I just need you to ask me to check the mail. Just the little things that were still hard then, that are so common actually, but because a lot of people don't talk about it, we feel like we're alone and the only one who are struggling with tasks that are technically simple but emotionally not easy. So because asking for help, especially with money, is a big deal, a lot of people stay stuck for years before they ever raise their hand. What made you decide to actually invest in coaching? Like, did you even have that obstacle emotionally? Was it hard for you to acknowledge that you needed help? What was that feeling like for you?
It wasn't hard for me to acknowledge that I needed help because I've needed help now for years since I had
Mhm.
my first child because I'm out here with no family in the area. I mean, I have one brother, but he has his own thing going on. So raising kids and no family, all my friends being there, majority of them was in the military. They left the area. It was like I knew that I needed a helping hand, somebody to lean on, somebody to call, who I could explain my situation to without feeling, I'm gonna say, icky, because it kind of felt like, I didn't want anybody to judge me.
Mhm.
So I had to find somebody who was a professional in the area that wouldn't judge me and wouldn't mind holding my hand through it.
Oh, you found me.
I did.
You found me. Who absolutely did not judge you. I feel like I lead the conversation by letting you see how relatable I am and how real regular I am because I know how intimidating our industry is and just the language a lot of professionals will use to show how smart they are will do the opposite effect. It will make people pull back and feel like they can't tell their whole story because what if they get the words wrong, or what if they're judging how they have gone about survival, some of the little things that we do to get by. And I didn't want that to be an obstacle, so I'm really glad it was a safe space for you to land. But one thing I think that people don't really understand until they experience it is what real support actually feels like. Not just information, but access. And one thing that's unique about my one on one coaching is access. Being able to call me, to text me, to reach out when something felt urgent or important. And you really use that support. Not all my clients do. I tell them I'm available, and not all of my clients do. But baby girl, you got all your dollars worth, okay? You was reaching out, and I love that for you. What did it feel like? What did having that kind of personal support feel like?
It took a weight off my shoulder. I didn't have to think and plan for myself 100% anymore. I was so tired of making all the decisions. Because, I mean, now, mommy me, that's what my job is. Like, I plan and I support and I run it. And it's like the weight was lifted. So
Mhm.
it felt really good.
Can you share, or do you mind sharing like a moment where having that access changed how you handled something specific?
Yes. I think it was probably like 8 o'clock at night. I called you. A cousin of mine had passed away, and I really wanted to go to his funeral, but it was in Chicago, and I would have to take all of us. And my little Honda Civic, we was all just cramp in there and go for a ride because tickets for a plane was just out of my reach. And I didn't have the money then. I was gonna put it on my credit card.
Mm.
So after we talked about what was going on, like how it made me feel, like what it would look like after I've done that, like how I was feeling a little guilty about not being able to go, Like, I made up my mind that even though I want to be there, I couldn't do that to my family that's here with me now. I mean, it's my responsibility to be here to support my kids financially, and I had just started the journey, so it would have been irresponsible for me to do that, to drop everything and just go.
I remember that it was your very first between session call to me. And I was really proud of you that you did not let fear of bothering me keep you from calling. It was a time sensitive situation, but also that you allowed yourself to pause and really answer the questions that would allow you to dig deeper to find out what was really driving you, what was really the friction inside of you. And it was that feeling of guilt, this conflict of priorities because your family, your extended family was important to you and you wanted to show up for them, but you would be abandoning yourself and abandoning your kids here in the process financially if you'd made that decision. And it's this thing that I think a lot of Black women deal with, feeling like we have to be superwoman. We have to figure out how to do all the things, even to our detriment. And for the first time, it felt like you were being given permission to choose yourself. From the moment you made that decision, I have not seen you struggle with that since. I don't know. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I haven't because I mean, in the past, it was not beyond me to go and buy the ticket at the counter for $1,800, and I was just gonna buy it and go. But that was like, you know what? I am on a different journey. Like, I need to respect that, give myself a chance to watch it work.
I love, you gave me goosebumps right to give myself a chance. That's so powerful because we're always giving other people grace and chances, and we don't often give ourselves the same chance, the same love, the same support as we do for others. So that's beautiful to hear you say. And I'm so glad. I'm so proud of you because it's so easy when you have had a habit of doing something for so long. It's so easy to go back to old ways. And just to see you not self abandon again in that significant of a way is just powerful. So round of applause to you. On the subject of like the root work, right? A lot of the money advice tells you what to do, but not why certain things feel harder than they should. It kind of stays on the surface, right? Budgets, rules, numbers. But our work went deeper. What did it feel like to do the root work instead of just trying to fix outcomes, like just the credit score, just the thing? What did it feel like for you?
Felt like I was getting some therapy, some much needed therapy from the journaling and going through the workbook. I mean, first of all, the amount of time that you put in that workbook, it's digital and you can print it. Like, it should be selling on Amazon somewhere.
One day I might make it available for the public to purchase. I thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really, really needed to do that. I've been doing a lot of writing, but it's been for school. You know, that's for a exterior goal. But this for working on myself internally, I really needed it.
I'm happy to hear that. The assessments that we had you go through, was there anything that surprised you? How was that process for you? Because I'm sure most people don't come in thinking like, I had y'all in the beginning, I had you doing like assessment after assessment, right?
I was just getting to know myself, and I feel like, again, I waited to 30 to have children. I was out there living my best life, you know, living my 20s up. And then I had to slow down, and it was kind of like I had a bit of an ego death. So I needed to learn who I was again, what I liked, what I needed, what I wanted, fears, like everything all over again. So this made me face myself.
Ooh, I love that. That journey of self-discovery, which is so crazy because you know in the visual for Love Yourself Back to Wealth, is that girl, she's looking at the mirror and she's hugging herself. And just to hear you parrot that that was your actual experience, to be able to look and just see your own self in the first place and then love her gently. to get to know her, to be curious, like date you almost. Like the way we spend so much effort in a relationship with a man for the first time, you're spending that same kind of effort getting to know you, figuring out what makes you smile, putting your money in things that you really care about, not what everybody else tells you that you need your money for. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for those who are watching this replay, I am not a therapist. So let me be clear, while you are not the first client, it probably will not be the last who tell you that coaching with me feels like therapy for their money. I am not a therapist. I am a financial counselor, but it is not therapy work. It is not a substitute for therapy work. And that was one of the things that I had, I recommend to you guys earlier is like, do you have a mental health professional? Do you have somebody who you can talk to? Because sometimes the topics that we talk about will make things rise to the surface, and I want you to feel supported. And so one of the very early things that I talk to you about is like building your power team, your support systems around those 4 wellness checkpoints. So tell me about that for you.
So it was a different conversation starter. Having these type of conversations with the friends that I do have, I feel like they were proud of me too, because they could see the change. So it was eye-opening for more than just me, because it made me want to talk about the different things that we were going through and the assessment and everything. So everything was just a big eye-opener.
Good. So one thing I often talk about is how women, especially Black women, learn to abandon ourselves to survive. Yeah, I talk about that ad nauseum. And then we double down on abandoning ourselves even more to take care of everyone else but us, our kids, our partners, our siblings, our coworkers, our boss, our church family, etc. I'm sure you can insert right
Yeah,
into those blanks, right?
definitely.
We are taught that this is a strength, but it's usually at the expense of our physical health, which is expensive, our mental health, which is expensive, and surprisingly, for a lot of people, our literal financial health. I have a belief that most people aren't actually bad with money. They're bad with self-care. What do you think about that?
100%. My self-care was non-existent by the time I got to you. So I'm back there now. It took me a while to even start my skincare routine because it's so many different things to do. You got to get up in the morning, get all the kids ready. You got to make sure everybody eats. Sometimes you don't eat. Then you got to go to work because you got to make the money to pay for the daycare. And I fell by the wayside a lot of the times.
Mm.
So now, even if it's just me knowing, like, okay, I need a reset, I need to take some time to myself, just sit here for 30 minutes and think it out before I make any drastic moves.
Mm. That's so
Right.
powerful because you deserve the space and time to think it through. And we often feel like we don't have the luxury of that.
Right.
It's okay. Let me take a beat and really process what it is before I rush to a decision. And it makes me think of like what I talked to you guys about in group, which was responding versus reacting. And that's powerful that you're giving yourself that breathing space, that processing space. So the group program and my one-on-one is called Love Yourself Back to Wealth program. That's the curriculum I designed to teach you guys through. And so I want to know, do you feel like you've started to heal a little, love yourself a little better, or protect yourself a little more since we started working together?
Yes, especially financially, because my answer is I don't got it.
I'm so glad you said that. Hold on. I literally just told my VA, I don't got it on a hoodie. That's my next design.
That's my answer. I don't got it. I don't have any of it. I don't have the time for it. I don't have the money for it. I don't even have the patience to listen to it. So,
I don't
especially if
got
it's
it for
going to dig
you.
into my bank account. No.
We're budgeting more than just money now, right?
Right.
Budgeting my time, budgeting my energy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got it for you.
Right. Because it's a lot of planning that's gone into this. And then it's helping me to plan things for the future. So I really don't have it.
Well, that's a good thing, y'all. That's a
Absolutely.
boundary that you have up there now. So I don't got it for you. And I think best of all is I feel like you're saying that, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's a boundary you're proud of, like one you feel empowered by, not a sad statement to make.
Yes. I'm definitely empowered and happy about it.
So now that you have some distance from where you started, where are you now compared to where you started? What can you do now that you couldn't do before?
I can talk myself off the ledge because I was too impulsive. Like, what did you say? You never know nobody. Like, okay, people want to go out, they want to buy shoes and clothes and things, and I want to go out and buy business.
Yes, your impulsiveness. I was like, girl, you gonna give me a heart attack because you would call me up and be like, Coach B, I got a question. I want to run this by you. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
And most people's impulsive is like, should I buy this comforter? Something not crazy. You was like, so I was thinking about leasing this building for this daycare. And I was like, your impulsive purchases. And it did make me wonder, like, I could see how you could get to where you started if you didn't have a governor and you had the capacity. And see, that's the thing when they say like more money, more problems, it's like having money is dangerous too when you still have the discipline, because you have the ability to make bigger impulsive decisions
Yeah.
with longer lasting impacts. You know what I mean? Impulsively buying like potato chips, it's not the same impact long lasting as being impulsively getting yourself into a 5-year lease for, commercial real estate property. And so these are some major impulsive to walk back off the ledge, cars, buildings, and you want to give me a heart attack. But what I was proud of you from day one is that with every impulsive moment, starting with the flight out when your cousin passed away, is you leveraged that you had support. When you felt yourself about to swipe that card and it felt like, is this a good decision? You didn't abandon yourself. You didn't have the capacity to walk yourself off yet. And you're like, but what I do know how to do is I can reach out to my support who can help me think it through. And I always said, I'm never going to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just going to help you think through the decision so that you can make a decision you're proud of. And I'll never forget the car, because we talked about the car, you talked about the issues with it. And then I just asked you a few questions like, have you looked into what does it cost for you to get an oil change? Just a few questions about maintenance of the car. Just a few things about that particular brand of car. And you gave yourself some time to think about it. And then a couple days later, you called me. You was like, I'm so glad I didn't, like, 'cause you were so excited about the car. You was like, I don't want that car even a little bit down the list. You just needed space, again, to go back to your point, to breathe, to think about the decision, to really come to what is the problem I'm really trying to solve for myself. Do I have to make this decision today? What is driving this urge? How can I, you just gave yourself space. And I think that's like the most important thing that you're taking away. But to see that you're doing it by yourself, like you're talking yourself off of ledges I don't even know you've been on.
Yeah. I definitely am. All the time.
Happy to hear it. As an ADHDer who struggles with impulsivity herself, I understand how hard it is. It's that dopamine rush. Your brain's excited. You have a big idea, which is a beautiful thing. The impulsivity is not always a obstacle. I'm not going to call it a flaw. I'm going to call it an obstacle sometimes. It's not always an obstacle. Sometimes it's what allows us to be great innovators and business owners and entrepreneurs, because we have an idea and we try it before anybody can walk us down. But we have to like learn how to have like guardrails around that as well, safety net, if you will. And so you're allowing your superpower of impulsivity to allow you to move into new entrepreneurial pursuits. So I'm excited to hear about some of those things, but also in a way that's not sabotaging that vision of yours you have for yourself. Because had you made some of those decisions in the past, it will make what you're trying to do next even harder. And your future self would have been looking at you like, now, friend, I had a plan for you. What else do you feel like you can do now that you couldn't before?
Well, I mean, now, like, you see my little tagline. I definitely had the audacity after I did what I did with that raise I got.
Come on, can we talk about that? For those who do not know, have never seen my post about Audacity, I said the only time I want to be like a white Okay, I want the audacity of a mediocre white man, and you took that literally. You saw a mediocre white man making more than you at your same title, same positions, and you slid into the DMs of HR like, maybe I'm gonna give y'all the benefit of doubt, but do we do something different? Because this title is this title, and my title is this title, and I watch what he do every day, and I see what I do every day. This man is making more than me. First of all, to have the audacity to have the conversation about salary in the first place, because corporate America wants you to not have these conversations because they don't want you to find out that you're being underpaid and then come back and collect your coins. So as long as they make it seem like it's illegal for y'all to talk about y'all salaries, y'all never talk about your salaries, and you don't find out why Black women are making 66 cents on the dollar compared to white men. But you went back and got your 33 cents.
I did.
You was like, sent me the text message, effective immediately. They gave you a raise.
Yeah, they did.
I love that for you. And I feel like the way you're going to approach salary negotiation, like the whole process, you'll have more questions. What do you feel about your ability to command your pay or to have these conversations that in the past were awkward? And
I feel like I deserve it. And that's the way that I'm going to approach every situation. So I don't have to be timid about it. I know what I need and what I want.
I love that for you. Now, because money never really exists in a vacuum, it's not just money that, people come to me always say people want more money or they want to get better with money, but it's not for the sake of just like having an imaginary number in their bank account. It's something that they believe money will do for them, right? It's a bridge to something. And it's only one of many bridges, but it is. How has all of the transformations that you've done, like this shift to where you are now, how has it affected other parts of your life?
Well, because I am mommy, that I'm going to have to teach all of these things to my children. So eventually I want out of corporate America and I want to homeschool and I want to be at home. With the systems that I have in place now, I can definitely see that coming in the near future.
You see your exit strategy.
Yes.
Clocking in about to be optional for you. I see a path. I see a light at the end of the tunnel. I love that for you because you talked about how wanting to homeschool your kids and having more control over what they're learning, what they're eating, things of that nature as well. And also not be paying crazy childcare bills to go along with it. It'd be nice.
Right.
As well, but being able to be paid to take care of your children. I like that. I think it's really important for people to hear, especially folks who are trying to piece things together on their own. What did you need from me as your coach that you weren't getting from YouTube videos or books or apps or just do-it-yourself courses?
Just support. That's really what I needed, 100%. I can read about it all day, but having an actual person to call and talk to and take me back over the steps that I might be, not thinking about at the moment, whatever is going on. I need that. I needed you to be there for me. So that's what I got.
How did I show up for you in a way that made a difference?
The calls, but also the invite to your beta course. So that really helped me because I got to see other women like myself and hear some of their stories and that we might be going through some of the most similar things, and to have a accountability buddy.
Bella bestie.
Accountability
Your
bestie.
bestie. I feel like I switched the name in cohort to Fin Bestie because the struggle to get over all them syllables.
Yeah. I enjoy doing the beta course because I got to go back over some of the stuff that we had already gone through. So it was nice to have that as a recap.
That was a perfect segue because I was just about to get into group coaching. Okay. I like that. You reading my brain. You've been reading my mind the whole way through. Okay. I was going to say that you got to experience both. For those who don't know, You got to do one-on-one coaching, but my one-on-one clients get to take the group coaching program included. And so you got to experience both sides. At first, I almost didn't offer it to you guys, not because I wouldn't, but because I didn't think that you guys would want to. I thought to myself, like, you already are learning this information, plus you have access to me one-on-one, and you wouldn't want to go into this environment with these other women when you get to talk about your very specific numbers with me in group. You're not sharing your specific numbers in the group setting. And would you feel like it was worth your extra time? Because we're meeting twice a week for 8 weeks, an hour and a half to 2 hours a day that we're in there. And plus, you guys are still having your one-on-one sessions with me bi-weekly. So would you want to spend that time? I've watched every single one of my one-on-one clients who've also taken group. I've watched you guys transform in that setting. It has been beautiful to watch. And so I want to see your perspective, not mine. How did it differ for you from one-on-one to group coaching? Because while the content is the same, like you said, I'm revisiting the information, the way I'm delivering it, and then the experience of hearing it with other women in the room who are also now sharing their stories. How was that for you?
It was good. I mean, you get other ideas from different women about how they're approaching what they're going through. And then you even had someone come on to talk to all of us. So it was good hearing from her and her point of view. It was doubling down on everything I already learned. So it was worth the investment and the time because the hours was good for me. I mean, I like my late times. Right now, what is it? 7:49. I mean, I'm up late and it works perfect.
Good. If you were a one-on-one client again, would you still recommend doing the group experience, the community experience?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because then even you get the YouTube. I was about to post on there the other day, but I got distracted about the Profit First book. I've been listening to it. So,
Yes, because I had mentioned in passing in cohort 2 about Profit First. I do personal financial coach, primarily women with ADHD, and we tend to be entrepreneurial by nature. And so I'd mentioned Profit First as a good book to read to learn a little bit from the business finance side. And so a couple of the girls in the cohort 2 had decided they wanted to start a book club and read the book together. As I told them, hey, you guys go ahead and post on the Facebook group, but your big sister is in cohort 1 because you're a big sister, friend. Might want to join in with you. So when you look back on this season, what are you most proud of yourself for when you look back?
sticking to it, to whatever it is that we plan. I really am very, very proud of damping down this impulsivity thing. Like, I really am. It was a problem. It was a problem, and it was just so tied to my emotions. And it doesn't matter. I can be upset if I want to, but I'm not about to go out and go do no shopping because I'm mad. I just took the card back away in my pocket, and I'm okay.
But you know what's so powerful about that is you just said it was attached to my emotions. And we start every coaching call with doing a wellness check. How are we feeling mentally, emotionally, physically, financially today? Rating yourself. And so that you had the awareness of how you were feeling in the first place. You don't even notice because you're so busy being a mom and all these things. You don't even notice that you feel anxious today, frazzled, tired, sleepy, frustrated. And you walk into the store with no awareness of how you feel. And then you're like, why did I even buy this? Right? You didn't even give your chance to see the human being yet. And now you've got the emotion of the shame attached to a choice that you made when you were dysregulated because life was lifing and you were trying to do things all by yourself. And now that you have like the habit, the behavior of checking in with yourself before you make major purchases, doing that wellness check, right? Check
Yes.
with yourself in the morning and the evening, you can catch it more. You giving yourself a fighting chance, like you said, to be able to make the progress that you want to be making. So I'm happy to hear that the emotions, you're not numb. You're still a human being. You're still going to have a variety of emotions. That's not ever going to change. It's that you have better self-awareness and you have intentional time to notice how you feel so that you can get what you need on those days that you're not having the best day, as opposed to putting that pressure to perform the same way, no matter how you feel.
Yeah.
So talking about moving forward, Graduation can bring up a lot of emotions. It can be scary, right? Like it's exciting on one end because you're like, okay, I'm going to try this. But at some point it's kind of scary because it's like, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to fail myself. I don't want to fail Coach B. I don't want to, and first of all, I just want to tell you this proactively. You absolutely cannot. You absolutely cannot fail me at all. But it can be scary and it can be exciting all in the same time. That both things can be true. How are you feeling about graduating?
I'm honestly not worried because I know that if I do need your help, then I can just come back.
Just like, I can just come back.
Yep. I'm feeling good.
Try this thing out. And
Yeah.
if I decide I don't want to do this alone, I'm just going to be like a man used to day and back. Turns out.
Back like I never left.
You the one that got away.
It turns out.
I love you, girl. And you will be welcome back, okay? I'll be the delusional girlfriend, just like...
You know what? I've been here the whole time. I don't know what she was talking about. I saw you yesterday, like 5 minutes ago.
Seriously, though, I really do mean that because I say this all the time. I have clients who work with me for years. I mean, years. And they have told me already, I wish you would try to retire. I really wish you would think about it because apparently I can't never quit. No, figure it out. But I have clients who have been here forever and they're completely capable of managing, but they don't want to. They feel like I look forward to the coaching calls. It's more enjoyable. Like I already hate working with my money, but at least it's more enjoyable in this way. I don't have to force my brain to remember as much. I know that this task gets done. I get to tell my family. It creates the boundaries for them. And I feel that way about going to the gym. I could eat right and exercise. I could, but when I go to boxing class, it's something about the camaraderie of the women in the gym, my coach pushing me on. Like I know I do more. Like I do some in the gym by myself, but when I'm in there with my coach, I do go a little harder. I do hold myself accountable a little bit stronger when I know that she's gonna be checking for me. And I need that and I want that for myself because I do care about my health goals. Not so much, I do want to be cute physically, but you know what I mean? I care about the health goals because I've seen how it affects my mental health and my mental health affects my finances. And so I'm so committed to getting the support that has worked for me. And this is the first year in my life I have ever been consistent with working out. I wish she would try to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Same way y'all feel about me, that's how I feel about my boxing coach. So I get that feeling. And you're right. I'm excited to hear about it. And I want to encourage you to share with me your wins. When you go out and you're trying things on your own and you have highs, let me know about it. Let the community you still in the private Facebook group for at least a year or so. Post about it in the group. Let us know. Let us celebrate your small wins, your medium wins, your big wins. There's nothing too small. And when you have setbacks. And I think that's most important for me to share is we feel like the only time we can share what's happening, and I think social media has made us perform this way, is that we only share what's going right. When really, when we most need each other is when things are not going right, when something happened. Because what I observed from you guys being in the group is it was other people sharing what they were struggling with that freed y'all the most. There is truth in that statement, like misery loves company. And it's not because we want you all to be miserable, but it's like for the first time you don't feel alone in life. You feel like you've been walking on this journey all by yourself. And it's a very specific, it was in your cohort where one of the women said that she would get anxiety. She knew she needed to call like a bill collector and just to ask a question. It was a simple question, but she would just get anxiety and just shut down. And one of the other women was like, thank you so much for saying that out loud because I thought it was just me. And you start to gaslight yourself. You start to feel like I'm crazy. Something's wrong with me. I'm broken. I'm the only person. This is such a stupid problem to have. And it feels so silly. But then when you hear your peers experiencing something similar, you don't feel ashamed. And so now you could just focus on healing. You could just focus on progress now because your mind isn't occupied by the shame. I want to know what's next for you. What's next for you and your money? What you doing? What's your plans?
I want to see if I can make it through a whole year of just planning ahead. If I can do that, I mean, buy the business.
I absolutely see you buying assets. I see you investing in not even your far future, in your near future. And you know why? Because you stick to the plan. Like, you really trust the process. And this is one of the reasons why you've had such success in the program, is because I'll make a suggestion and you follow through on whether it is like organizing your bank accounts, how you're moving your money from direct deposit, just looking up childcare. Like, you trust the process, the little things like the journaling. That's such a negligible task to do, but that you trust that this step, if I'm giving it to you, it must have some sort of importance to me, and that you trust the process to actually do it and it's making an impact. So I know that if you are following this process, it's inevitable that you are going to get to a point of multiply, which is that fourth key skill. And that's where we start making clocking in really optional, because passive income is clocking for you. And I want that for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we call our community in here budgeting baddies and budgeting besties, depending on whether you got ADHD or not. And so I would like to know, do you have any last wisdom for the baddies and the besties who are possibly coming behind you or just watching this conversation?
Have all the audacity, okay, to do what it is that you need to do to show up for yourself.
Mm.
Because it's important. I mean, it's so important. Because if you don't take care of you, then how can you move on in life and get to the goals that you see or take care of your family? It's important to, if you don't have the audacity, it's okay. Just lean on your fin sisters and share the audacity.
Yes, yes. Borrow some audacity.
Yes.
Okay, I want to end this real simple. And it's just a fill in the blank call and response. So before coaching, I felt blank. After coaching, I feel blank. And then I'm going to let you go so you can get well.
Before coaching, I felt anxious and scared of anything to do with money tasks. And after coaching, I'm happy to take care of all of my money tasks. I don't run from looking at my bank accounts and moving money if necessary. I'm now on top of my bills and things are auto pay.
Auto savings is in there. I see
Yeah.
the chart. I seen you. I took a look at your tracker this morning. I was like, we out here.
Yeah.
We got money right here. We came in here.
Yes, ma'am.
We a month ahead. Ain't no paycheck to paycheck situation in here no more.
A month ahead and then some now.
And then some. Yes. Yes, I love that for you. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I call you friend because I am your budget bestie. Okay, always gonna be here for you. Thank you so much for telling your story, for digging back into some of the hard places that you escaped from mentally and emotionally, so that people can see themselves in your transformation and borrow some of your audacity and courage to ask for help when they need it, whether it's from me or whether it's from somebody else. Thank you so much for trusting me and trusting this space with your story. And if anybody is listening and you saw yourself anywhere in her story, first of all, tell her thank you. Be kind. Tell her thank you. But if you saw yourself in her story, the overwhelm, the self-doubt, the baby steps, the growth, I want you to know this. You don't have to be in the same place this time next year. And neither of us want you to be either. That's why we're here today. If this conversation stirs something up in you, I invite you to book a Q&A call with me and simply chat. Let us have a chance to talk and figure out what kind of support makes sense for you next. Maybe that's group coaching and community. Maybe it's one-on-one support. Maybe it's both. You can find that link at www.youngrichRooted.com. And I'll also have in the description, or you can find it in a link in my bio. Choose to love yourself back to wealth. Keep growing because you're on your way to becoming financially unfuckwittable and young, rich, and rooted. Thank you for your time. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money.
Here we go.
Dollar
Check
bill,
this shit.
yo.